Myself Ms. Tejasri Kosbe, lecturer from Praveen Patil Polytechnic Bhayandar. My subject is maintenance of electrical equipment. In this chapter 3 is testing and maintenance of rotating machines. Part 4. Learning outcomes. At the end of this video, you will learn about insulation resistance test, measurement of DC resistance, high voltage test, and no load and block rotor test. So routine tests for 3-phase induction motor are: first one is insulation resistance test, second measurement of DC resistance, high voltage test, no load running of motor and reading of current in 3 phases and voltage, open circuit voltage ratio test, lock rotor test, reduced voltage running up test, and measurement of slip. So next is the type test. So it includes all tests coming under routine test, that is 1 to 8, and in addition it includes temperature rise test and momentary overload test. So first is routine test. In this first is insulation resistance test. To prolong the life of electrical systems and motors, regular insulation resistance testing is required. Over the years, after many cycles of operation, electric motors are exposed to environmental factors such as dirt, grease, temperature, stress, and vibration. These conditions can lead to insulation failure, resulting in loss of production or even fires. Insulation resistance failure of an electric motor is one of the first signs that motor is about to fail. For a 3-phase motor, insulation resistance is usually measured between motor winding or phase and between each motor phase and motor frame using an insulation tester or megger. Set the voltage setting of the insulation resistance tester to 500 volt. Check from phase to phase, that is U to V, V to W and W to U. Check from phase to motor frame, that is U to E, V to E and W to E. Minimum test value of motor insulation resistance is 1 mega ohm. So this is the connection diagram for megger. So in this you can see the megger is connected to the winding and frame of the motor. Next is measurement of DC resistance of a 3-phase induction motor. The stator of a 3-phase induction motor may be star connected or delta connected. The terminals are available on the terminal box. Simple test to measure the DC resistance of the motor is the voltmeter ammeter method. The winding terminals of stator or rotor can be connected to a low voltage DC supply as shown in figure. The stator or rotor winding is internally star connected, hence any 2 terminals are taken, say A and B, whereas 3 terminal C is kept open, DC supply is switched on and current is adjusted to a suitable value by varying rheostat. Ammeter and voltmeter readings are noted at the temperature T1. Resistance at temperature T is found as R is equal to V upon I. This value is the combined value of 2 windings in series. Hence, resistance per phase is equal to R1 is equal to R by 2 ohm. When motor works, the temperature increases and resistance also increases. If at a working temperature T2, the resistance is to be found, use the following relation: R2 is equal to R1 in bracket 234.5 plus T2 upon 234.5 plus T1. So this is the formula to find out the resistance. For small values of resistances, the most accurate method would be Wheatstone bridge or Kelvin's double bridge method. AC resistance is equal to 1.25 DC resistance. Next is high voltage test. So objectives of high voltage test on 3-phase induction motor are to determine the weakness of insulation, damaged insulation or insufficient clearances, etc. To determine the level of insulation of the motor. Procedure of carrying out HV test on 3-phase induction motor. The test voltages should be of power frequency and as far as possible should have a sine wave shape. This test consists in applying the specified test voltage between the various windings and earth. So for stator windings, the test voltage for 60 seconds is 1000 volt plus twice rated voltage with a minimum of 1500 volt. Rotor windings of slip ring and induction motors unidirectional 1000 volt plus twice open circuit standstill voltage as measured between slip rings with unidirectional rated voltage applied to stator winding. For motors to be reversed or braked while running rotor winding, the test voltage is 1000 volt plus 4 times open circuit standstill voltage. So conclusion for this test is, during high voltage test, if no failure of insulation occurs at full test voltage, then test is successful, that is, quality and level of insulation is good. Performance of three-phase induction motor calculated by indirect test. Indirect tests are no load and block rotor test. From this test also calculates the equivalent circuit parameters of induction motor. So no load test is rated voltages are applied to the stator terminals at the rated frequency with rotor uncoupled from any mechanical load. Current, voltage, power are measured at the motor input. The losses in the no load test are those due to core losses, winding losses, windage and friction. Block rotor test. The rotor is blocked to prevent rotation and balance voltages are applied to the stator terminals at a frequency of 25% of the rated frequency at a voltage where the rated current is achieved. Current, voltage and power are measured at the motor input. So this is the circuit diagram of no load test, in which you can see the load is, the rotor is unblocked and rated voltage is applied for this test. So next is procedure. Connect the circuit as shown in connection diagram in figure 1. Start the motor by ensuring the shaft is at no load condition. For starting, either use auto transformer or starter to reach rated voltage. Note the readings of voltmeter, ammeter and wattmeter by carefully noting its multiplying factor. Reduce the voltage using auto transformer to 0 and turn the main switch off. So this is the procedure for performing no load test, and this is the observation table for this test, in which you can take reading for voltage, current, wattmeter, actual power, that is wattmeter reading into multiplying factor, second wattmeter reading, actual power, second wattmeter reading into multiplying factor, and total no load power. The formula is W1 plus W2. Next is the calculation for no load test. No load power factor cos phi 0 is equal to W0 upon root 3 into V0 I0. From that you can calculate phi 0, which is cos inverse in bracket W0 upon root 3 into V0 I0. Next is IW per phase is equal to I0 upon I0 per phase into cos phi 0. I mu is per phase is equal to I0 per phase into sin phi 0. R0 per phase is equal to V0 per phase upon IW per phase, and X0 per phase is equal to V0 per phase upon I mu per phase. So you can calculate these parameters from no load test. So in this experiment, it is intended to study the effect of variation of applied voltage on the speed, power input, power factor, stator current of an induction motor running on no load. The effect of change of applied voltage on the above mentioned quantities are explained as follows. So first is effect on speed. Speed remains practically constant until very low voltage are reached Unless heavily loaded, the speed of an induction motor is affected very little by fluctuation of voltage. Effect on stator current. As applied voltage is increased, stator current rises gradually on account of the increase in magnetizing current required to produce the stator flux. The component of the stator current which provides the ampere turns balancing the rotor ampere turns will steadily diminish as the rotor current decreases with the increase in rotor speed. The increase in the magnetizing component is, however, more than sufficient to balance this decrease. At very low voltages, the induction is low that almost whole of the stator current is employed in balancing the rotor current. At normal voltage, the rotor current requires only a small proportion of the stator currents to balance them. The higher saturation of the magnetic circuit requires a much stronger magnetizing current to maintain the air gap flux. Next is effect on power factor. As explained above, the magnetizing component of the stator current becomes larger as the voltage increases. Thus, there is a continuous increase in the power factor angle and hence a fall in power factor. Frictional losses of the motor are practically constant as the speed does not change with voltage. The loss component of the stator current, IW, is due to frictional losses and iron losses. As voltage is increased, iron loss component and magnetizing component of stator current will increase. The increase in magnetizing current will be more than the increase M iron loss component of stator current. Thus, there will be a fall in power factor as the voltage is increased. Next is effect on power input. The no-load power input is spent in overcoming both iron and frictional losses. As stated earlier, frictional losses are nearly constant at all voltages until the motor speed falls rapidly, while the iron losses continue to increase with increase in the applied voltage. In figure, by extrapolating the power input curve to the left until it cuts the ordinate of 0 voltage, when there can be no iron loss, it is possible to make a rough estimate of the power spent in friction and windage. The effect of change of stator input voltage on the above mentioned quantities as shown graphically. So in this diagram you can see the effect of change of applied voltage on speed, rotor current, stator current, power factor and power input of an induction motor running at no load. Next is block rotor test. So this is the circuit diagram of block rotor test. In this you can see the rotor is blocked and this test is carried out at rated current, that is at very low voltage. So procedure: first connect the circuit as shown in the connection diagram in figure 2. Before starting, ensure that the shaft is blocked completely from rotating. Using the 3-phase variac, increase the voltage to the machine such that it draws rated current. Note the readings of voltmeter, ammeter and wattmeter by carefully noting its multiplying factor. Take the readings quickly so that the machine does not heat up due to full load copper losses taking place at this condition. Fifth is reduce the voltage using auto transformer to 0 and turn the main switch off. Next is the observation table. So this is the observation table from block rotor test in which you can take the reading for voltage, current, wattmeter, both wattmeters W1 and W2 and total power which is given by the formula W1 plus W2. Next is calculation. From block rotor test we can calculate the values. WBR is equal to 3 into IBR per phase bracket square into R01 per phase. We can calculate from this R01 per phase is equal to WBR upon 3 into IBR per phase bracket square. Z01 per phase is equal to VBR per phase upon IBR per phase. From this you can calculate X01 per phase is equal to root of Z01 per phase bracket square minus R01 per phase bracket square. So this test is similar to short circuit on a transformer. This experiment is performed on a 3-phase squirrel cage induction motor when the rotor is not allowed to rotate, that is performed by tightening the belt. The effect of variation of stator voltage on input power and stator current are explained as follows. So first, effect on input power. So when the rotor is blocked, only a small amount of voltage can be applied across stator terminals to allow up to normal full load current to flow through the windings. Iron losses will be very small as at that low voltage magnetization will be low. The power taken by the motor when the rotor is blocked is therefore almost entirely due to copper losses. With the increase in stator applied voltage, the losses will increase as the square of the current. Effect on stator current. The stator current will increase in proportion to the rotor current. As in a transformer, in order to balance the rotor currents, figure C shows the effect of change of stator voltage on the quantities. So this is the figure C, in which you can see the effect of exchange of stator applied voltage on power input, rotor and stator current. So this is all about the block rotor test. Thank you.